Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a very exciting video for you today. I am so excited to try out this foundation. I have with me here the new Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. Charlotte Tilbury makes some of my favorite foundations ever, so I am just beyond looking forward to trying this out today. It sounds amazing. It sounds like exactly what I go for in a foundation, and Charlotte just knows what she's doing when it comes to skin products. So I'm gonna give you guys my first impression. I'm gonna wear it throughout the day. I'm gonna show you in both artificial and natural lighting what the foundation looks like. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about it, and I will compare it to the other Charlotte Tilbury foundations. So if you're interested in any of that, then just keep watching the video. Okay guys, so we're gonna get right into this. As I'm applying the foundation, we'll kind of chat a little bit about it. I got mine in shade number 3 Neutral. I tried the foundation matcher on the Charlotte Tilbury website. It's pretty cool. She has 2 different ones you can use. You can either plug in other foundations you use. It'll tell you the comparable shade in the Beautiful Skin Foundation, or you can actually upload a photo of yourself and they will give a suggestion for which foundation you should buy. I kept getting either 4N or 5N when I was trying different photos and matching different foundations that I own. However, I have the 4N in the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush foundation, and this is like a little too dark and too yellow for me at the moment. So I thought I would give 3N a go today instead. I'm quite pale. It is the dead of winter here. I've already primed my skin with my Huda Beauty Thirst Trap Juice and my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, which is how I always prep my skin for foundation. And I'm gonna go ahead and go right in. First of all, the packaging. I really enjoy this style of packaging. The tube with the little pump, I just think it's very tactile, feels really nice in your hand. It's very lightweight, great for carrying around with you or packing in a travel bag. This would also be really lightweight in a freelance makeup kit. Something that I found really interesting about this foundation is that Charlotte's actually saying that it can be applied with a sponge. So that is how I'm going to apply it today. Oh, it's actually quite a bit thicker than I was expecting. The color's looking really, really nice though, right off the bat. So the entire time I worked for Charlotte Tilbury, we were always told that the foundations were meant to be applied with a brush and never a sponge. They told us Charlotte hated sponges because sponges absorbed a lot of your product and took away coverage. With this foundation, they're saying it can be applied with a sponge. So it's interesting that they've kind of changed their tune on that. When I worked at the counter, we weren't even allowed to have little beauty blenders set up for sale at our tills because, yeah, Charlotte was just like very against using sponges. So I'm dealing with some perioral dermatitis, a lot of perioral dermatitis on my face right now. So I thought it would be actually a great time to test out a new foundation because who wants to see someone try on foundation on perfect skin? Like, we want to cover things up. We want to know how things look. So yeah, I actually am kind of happy that my skin's not in the best place, so we can give this like a real shot, a real try. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I actually have an entire video comparing Charlotte's other 3 foundations. So Light Wonder Foundation, Magic Foundation, and the Airbrush Flawless Finish Foundation. It's one of my favorite videos that I've ever made. It's super informative. It gives a ton of detail about the pros and cons of each foundation, who they would be best for. So I'll link that across the top here and in the description box down below if you want to go and see that as well. So besides the fact that I have my perioral dermatitis on my skin, I also have not been able to exfoliate my skin for many months because of my dermatitis. I don't want to use anything abrasive on my face, and so I have not been exfoliating since the fall, like at least since October. So right off the bat, I can see in the areas where I have some dead skin building up, like on my nose, the foundation is definitely looking a little bit dry and cakey. So what they're really pushing with this foundation is the fact that it is really science-backed. It's really science-based. She has it listed on her website as a medium coverage hydrating foundation that's been expertly formulated with skincare ingredients to combine instant glow with buildable coverage and long-term skin benefits. So the main skincare ingredients in here are hyaluronic acid, which helps pull moisture from the air and lock it into the skin. She says it's smoothing. There's an ingredient called Bix Active, which helps to decrease the appearance of oiliness and visibly reduce the look of shine and pores. There's a rose complex that targets all signs of stress in the skin, including dullness, dryness, pigmentation, and dark circles for skin that looks brighter, smoother, hydrated, and more youthful. I was reading the ingredients on the box, and there is both rose flower oil and rose flower water in here. So I'm assuming that's what makes up the rose complex. Speaking of that, I did not notice a smell whatsoever. I wondered if it would smell kind of rosy because of that rose complex, but there is no scent whatsoever. It says the foundation evens skin with Hyaluro Smooth, which targets uneven texture, dryness, dullness, and locks in moisture for a flesher, plumper, smoother, and even looking skin tone. It says it plumps. There's a coconut extract which improves skin's ability to hold water by helping strengthen the skin barrier over time for plumper, younger looking skin. Coconut is something we've been using in skincare for a really long time. It defends, so there's the CT defense, which prevents pollutant particles from penetrating the skin and strengthens the skin barrier over time. It says it's long lasting with 16-hour wear, a vegan friendly formula, and it's beautifully packaged in a recyclable tube with an engravable lid, which is cool. So, shade. Literally a perfect match for me. Like, how great was that shade match? It's so interesting. I'm gonna zoom in on it, but it looks very natural. It looks very much like my skin, but shinier. So it really gives like that glow to the skin. I really love a glowy hydrating foundation, and this is definitely giving me that. I'd say it's a true medium coverage. It's done a pretty fair job covering the dark marks and hyperpigmentation that I have on my skin from acne scarring. They are showing through a little bit, but that's why it's medium coverage and not full coverage. However, the redness around my chin where I have my perioral dermatitis is kind of coming through a little bit. So it says on here that the foundation is buildable. So let's go ahead and try and build it up. I'm just gonna take one more little pump here, and then I'm gonna go in and just try to build up the coverage in this area here where I feel like I need a little bit more. Okay, so I wouldn't particularly call this super buildable. I don't know if that made a huge difference. There's still a little bit of redness poking through on that part of my face, but honestly, I'm not too worried about it. The number one thing that's standing out to me upon first impression is just how much this looks like my skin, but glowier, which is just great. I do have a little bit left on the back of my hand here, so let's just add a little bit of that in the under eye area and see how it does covering darkness. Yeah, pretty well. Definitely on the lighter side of a medium coverage for sure. It feels very lightweight on the skin, even though the foundation was like a thicker formula itself than I was expecting. So yeah, that is probably the major pro for me, is how natural and skin-like this is looking while also adding dew and hydration to my skin. I will say that if you have dry skin, this may not be the foundation for you. Like I mentioned before, the areas of my face where my skin is quite dry, it is emphasizing that dryness for sure. However, because of the rose complex, the hyaluronic acid, the coconut extract, that may go away over time as we go throughout the day. So I'll definitely keep you updated on that as we go. Let me show you really quickly how this is looking in natural lighting. Okay, here we are in natural lighting. I'll come closer so you guys can see. So definitely some dark marks, pigmentation showing through from underneath, but overall it looks really nice, doesn't it? I love that glow. Okay, so it is 12 noon. I'm not gonna be able to wear this for 16 hours today, but we are going to leave it on for as long as possible for you guys. We're gonna test out how this wears throughout the day. I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup and we'll come back for our first check-in. Okay friends, it is 1:08. It is literally exactly 1 hour since the last time I spoke to you. Just wanted to give you a quick update. The foundation seems to be settling into my skin really nicely. One of the things I always look for in foundations is how they build up in my fine lines. So I have some little smile lines on the side of my face here, and every foundation builds up in them, but some are much worse than others. This foundation's actually doing really well so far. It's actually only building up on this one side of my face. Over here, it hasn't sunken into my fine line at all. So that's really good. That's very impressive. I actually just filmed a first impression with the Natasha Denona Retro palette as well. So that's what I used on my eyes today. If you guys want to check that out, it'll be coming soon. Make sure you're subscribed. But yeah, so far I'd say we're pretty much exactly the same. It's just settling into my skin really nicely. I am gonna go ahead really quickly and just set my makeup with some setting spray. I would always do this with my foundation, so when I do my first impressions, I do this. This is the Urban Decay All-Nighter for anybody who's wondering. So I'm gonna go about my day and I will see you in my next check-in. Hi guys, so it is 4:40, so it's been on for about 4.5 hours now. So there have definitely been a few changes and a few things that haven't changed that are good. So first of all, my nose was looking so dry when I first applied the foundation, and now it is almost the opposite. It's almost looking oily. The skin above my lip was really dry as well because I'm using this pretty harsh cream on my perioral dermatitis that really dries out my skin. So this whole area was pretty dry and it's not really looking dry anymore either. So the skincare ingredients are working. They're doing their job. They're actually going into my dry skin and moisturizing it, and that just makes the foundation look so much better than when it's first applied. That's actually something that I love about Magic Foundation from Charlotte Tilbury, is that it looks better the longer you wear it because of the hyaluronic filling spears. So I'm feeling like this is a really similar situation. This one also has the sodium hyaluronate in it. So I feel like, yeah, it's doing its job really nicely. I would say it's not settling into my smile lines any more than it was before. This is the one it was settling in before. You can see it there. It's kind of settling. And this one, it still isn't, which is like amazing. Honestly, like every foundation settles in my smile line. So for it to only be doing that on one side and like not even be doing it much is pretty shocking to me. So yeah, overall, I'd say if anything, I'm looking a little bit oily, but I'm not mad about that. Like dewy skin for life over here. Oh, and I was just wearing my mask while I was grocery shopping. Did my foundation come off? I'd say it's stuck pretty good to my skin actually underneath my mask. It doesn't look like it's worn off on the sides here or even really too much on the tip of my nose. So that's great. I wasn't expecting that. I really did think it was going to transfer quite easily. I was wearing a disposable mask, which is a lot better for wearing makeup, but even so. So yeah, that's how we're looking 4 hours in. I'll update you guys in another couple of hours. Hello friends, it is 8:17, so we've officially been wearing the foundation for a solid 8 hours at this point. I am going to do my final check-in with you all. So just looking at a couple of the things that we've been paying attention to throughout the day today, still only one of my smile lines is showing foundation kind of sinking into it. That's really impressive the way that wore. So I do feel like this foundation would be really good for someone with maybe more mature skin or aging skin. My nose has kind of gone a full cycle. A couple of hours ago, I was taking a look at it in the mirror in my bathroom and I noticed that there were literal like balls of oil coming through the foundation on my nose. But that's kind of chilled out at this point. Things are looking a little textured. I can see a little bit of dryness on the side of my nose here again. And the foundation has really just mostly broken up and pretty much, yeah, I'd say like for the most part kind of disappeared off of my nose. Another thing that I noticed was with my dermatitis. So my perioral dermatitis kind of goes through phases throughout the day, especially right after I shower in the morning. It's really red, and as the day goes on, it kind of loses a lot of its redness and just becomes texture. And so I was noticing throughout the day that as the redness faded, the foundation did a really good job of just covering up all of the texture from the dermatitis. So I feel like if maybe you have textured skin, this foundation would work really nice for you as well. My forehead is looking quite shiny, quite greasy. I'm kind of dying to just take a sponge to it, pick up some of that excess oil that's sitting on top. It did a pretty good job of holding on to the rest of the products on my face. My bronzer and my blush are still fully there. Just with how the foundation's wearing here at the 8 hour mark, I don't think that you could get 16 hours of wear out of this foundation. I don't even have oily skin anymore, and it is just starting to kind of break up a little bit and fade. I think in terms of comparing this foundation to the other Charlotte Tilbury foundations, that this one is going to come right in between the Light Wonder foundation and the Magic foundation. I'd say the coverage is a little bit lighter than Magic foundation, but it's definitely more full than the Light Wonder foundation. And I'd say it has more of a luminous finish right off the bat than the Magic foundation does. Similar to the Light Wonder foundation, it feels so lightweight. It feels like I'm wearing nothing at all on my skin. It's just really comfortable to wear. I have not been wearing foundation very often for the last couple of years, and so lots of times if I was wearing a foundation for like 8 hours in a day, I would be dying to wash it off of my face by this time of night, and I just don't really feel that way. Besides the fact that I feel like a little bit oily, I don't actually feel the makeup sitting on top of my face, so it is really nice and lightweight. So I think if you have normal to oily skin, or you live in a more humid or less dry than where I live in Canada climate, that you will really like this foundation, especially if you're looking for something with a medium coverage that gives a little bit of a glow. If you're looking for a foundation that just looks like your own skin, it's doing a great job of that. However, I would say the number one thing that I noticed about this is that it just does not look good on my dry skin. My dry skin is just not loving it. It's being emphasized. It almost makes it look drier. Yeah, it's really being emphasized, like all in this area here. My skin just looks so dry, and on the sides of my nose. So if you have dry skin, I'd say this one's not for you. If you're looking for a light to medium coverage foundation with a dewy finish, that's great for dry skin. Go with the Light Wonder foundation. If maybe you found your skin was a little bit too oily for Light Wonder, you might do better with this one. And yeah, overall, I'm liking it. I feel like it's a good everyday kind of foundation. It's a great shade match for me, which always helps. But I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna continue to use it. First impressions are always hard. If you're new to my channel, I do a ton of get ready with me's, and I go through a lot of my old makeup in those videos. Plus, I'm constantly using makeup in my vlogs as well, so I'm always giving updates on products that I give first impressions to as I use them throughout time. So definitely make sure you're subscribed if you want to see more of my long-term opinions on this foundation, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Is it my favorite Charlotte Tilbury foundation? I'm gonna go with no. I'm gonna go with no for now. If you want to know what is my favorite Charlotte Tilbury foundation, you can check out the video I mentioned earlier where I compare all 3 of the Charlotte Tilbury foundations. And that's it, you guys. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.